Hi, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing, I guess my teacher appreciation gifts. It's very last minute and sorry I couldn't get this together early enough to do it before Teacher Appreciation Week, but this is what I'm doing for my son's teachers. And it's just a shaker gift card holder. So I thought it came out really cute, so I guess I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, so there's a lot of videos on how to do shaker cards. And I love all of them. You know, everyone's has such great ideas. The only thing is that I don't know how the gift card doesn't slip out, you know, unless you have it in another envelope. When I use plastic sheet protectors and you have a gift card, it's pretty slippery. So I don't know, my idea or addition to it is to add like a ribbon to it so it's more secure. So you have to take the ribbon out to get to the gift card and the card, what if you want to write a card. But yeah, so it's just a Starbucks card, regular size gift card. I have a little piece of paper so my sons can like write a little note. You can, there's actually like two pockets, so one over here and then one on the back that you can put the gift or the card into. And then yeah, so I don't know, I thought it was just better to have it secured. Because I've also seen people do this with cash, and I think that's such a great idea. But yeah, I think I would want it like secured. I guess you could put tape or something too if it was like this much shorter. I thought a ribbon would be a cute accent also. So I'll show you how I made this. I'm actually going to redo this one because I made one hole in the center and then I realized I wanted two so I could have like the ribbon go through. So, and I think I put a little bit too much confetti in this one, so I'm gonna take out some. But yeah, I'll show you how I did this from beginning to end. So the things you'll need is the fuse tool, and was it last year? Maybe almost, yeah, it must have been last year. I made shaker book markers using pretty much all the same materials, the glitter, you know, the sheet protectors and everything. So this is kind of a similar project to that. You're going to also need heavyweight sheet protectors. These are kind of like my favorite go-to ones, the Avery heavyweight. They're pretty clear. Yeah, I mean, it's a sheet protector. You also need like confetti or glitter, some ribbon. I have gift cards, some just red cardstock. And so if you want to go ahead and do custom confetti, I made like the teachers' names. I'll insert a video at the end on how I did this on the Cricut, but I think it came out really cute. So this is about 1.5 inches wide. I also did their school logo. It's like so delicate though. Only like a handful of them came out. I also was going to use a thank you confetti, but it didn't cut well with the red. So I'm not going to use this. And the cardstock that I use, this is an old one. I would look at my stash. I forgot what brand it is, but this one cut out really well. It's actually kind of a thinner cardstock. It's more like scrapbooking paper. But I guess with the coating, it just cuts out really nicely. I had like no casualties with this. Because you know when you cut out things that are really small or intricate on the Cricut, sometimes it, you know, doesn't work out. For the school logo, I used this metallic poster board from Walmart. And so yeah, the thank you didn't come out that well. And this is more of like a poster board with like a metallic like overlay kind of thing. So I guess it's, you know, when you're cutting it, it shows the white from behind. So it's an okay option. I guess I would go with like a really nice quality scrapbooking paper versus this type of poster board. But anyways, you can use whatever you want to fill the cards. You don't even have to go through the trouble of making like custom confetti. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out the gift cards. You could also make a big one. that would hold the whole thing, but I don't know, it was like not enough room on the top for the ribbon, and I don't know. So I'm gonna take it out. And if you take it out, you can kind of use this pattern for any gift card. Okay, so I have my gift cards all ready. I'm just taking the sheet protector and I'm gonna fold it up. And this is like a lot of like, not guesswork, but it's not a science, you know. If you're gonna make a lot, it's worth it to measure, but otherwise I'm just kind of like eyeballing it. So I just want to have the gift card plus like about an inch on the top. You can make it bigger or smaller, especially depending on like what size of ribbon you have. If it's thinner, I would make it smaller. So it's about there. And if you have like a bone, what do you call it? That paper folder, that would be awesome. Or you can use your nail. I actually just ordered a bone paper thing on Temu. It was like $1 or something. Can't wait to get that. So now I'm gonna start from this side. So it's already double layered, but this side is not closed. So the first thing I'm gonna do is close up one side, and I would use a metal ruler. Don't use this one. I kind of melted this one on the side because I was using this. And we're just gonna use the fuse tool and go down this way. And I let my fuse tool heat up for about 10 minutes. Like while I'm in the room, you know, I didn't walk away from it, but I let it heat up for about 10 minutes so that it's nice and evenly heated. And I would go ahead and do like a couple test runs on like some scrap, I guess, plastic, just so you know what the tempo is and how fast you should do it, because there's a lot of room for user error with this tool. Like, it is awesome and I love it, but you have to go at a nice pace, nice even pace. Like if you go like slow and then fast and slow, like there's gonna be a hole there. So I would practice a little bit with it before, or just have extra, you know, sheet protectors. But yeah, make sure it's evenly heat up and go at a slow, even pace. And you don't have to push down too much. Like I would do like firm pressure, but I wouldn't like be trying to cut the plastic. We're trying to just seal it together, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and seal this side. And I'll always start from the side that you don't care that much about, because I feel like when you first put it down, you kind of go heavy. Let's see if I did it. Oh, I guess it's okay. I've been practicing though. I was going heavy on one part and like melting it a little bit. And then you want to just let it cool a little bit and then check your seal. If you can push it apart, then you need to redo it. I think it's okay. Okay. And then now we're going to just measure the gift card. So we need it about, we're going to seal it about right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut the pocket. And then just making sure, so it's going to look like this. And now I'm going to fill it up. Actually, I forgot to do one thing. Okay, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. I forgot I was going to seal the bottom. So you could just leave it like this, but the confetti could migrate to the back. I don't know. It's not likely to if it's like, you know, small and it's like kept like this, but say you care, right? And then you want it to not migrate to the back. We're just gonna fuse down this line. So right on the fold that you made. Okay, and always check it. Okay, that looks good. I'm just gonna close up this end. I think the hardest part is making nice right corners for me. So you want to go a little bit slower when doing this fuse than when you just did the crease, because this one's going through 4 layers of plastic down here. Okay. Oh, see, I opened it up a little bit and I don't feel it in the back. So let's do it again. Let's try this. I'm so impatient. I'm gonna try go from back. Okay, that's a solid seal. Then you can go ahead and trim it now if you want. You can also trim it this way. Just make sure not to cut this folded section. So I'm just gonna cut right along it. So yeah, you have the folded one and then two open ones. Okay, and then now we can go ahead and fill it. I actually like to trim it down. It's a little bit easier to trim it or fill it when it's not so full or like long on this side. Okay, I could have cooked it. That's okay. So in the pocket with the fold, I'm gonna add in the name confetti. So I just put in 5. And I like that it stays flat, and because the back of the custom confetti is white, it's nice that it's not gonna like be jumping around. It'll stay kind of flatter. And then I have the logo. And then you can just use whatever confetti mix you want. Like my favorite to add is the large confetti because it adds a little bit of like space. Like, you know how they're like, the sequence is not raised, but it's like higher. So it gives more space for the confetti to move around. And then I like this white one with the hearts, trying not to make a mess. And then I'm just gonna do a tiny bit of the black stars just because it goes a long way. You know, it kind of looks messy when you put too much, but I do want to have a little bit of like black contrast. So really just like a pinch. And then I want to add a little bit more red. So I'll add some of the red hearts. These are such a bargain on Amazon. I forgot how much it was, but I feel like it was $7 per pack. And there's so much glitter in here. Like, I don't think I'll ever use this up. So it's nice to have a variety. Let's see. Maybe I'll put a little bit of this one. I kind of want to space out the name ones. So maybe you should put in like a couple in the beginning and then like a couple at the end, just to try to keep it separated. Okay. So once you're happy with it, we can go ahead and close up this side of the pocket. It's going to be like this. Try to get all the confetti down. So I don't want it too tight, but just maybe 1/4 inch away from the gift card edge. This also gives you some space if you make a mistake too. Oops, I went over a confetti. Oh well, I guess that's okay. So just check your seam. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna trim it up. See, I could fix that if I go a little bit closer but it might be hard to take the gift card out, you know? That's okay. Okay, and then now I'm going to use a really small hole punch, only because I don't want the glitter falling out. So this is the tiniest hole punch I have. Can you see? It's like a tiny heart. You can use whatever you want, really. I don't know, but just try to get all the glitter to the bottom before you punch the hole. And then I want to make the hole about 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch apart, and right in the center of here. Okay, and then I'll just use this ribbon. No, I want to make it a little bit longer. That's okay. I do have to open this up again and put the cardstock in here. What I did for that was I just measured like how big it was and then used my paper cutter to cut it down. So I guess I can show you. This is a 3.5 inch wide cardstock, and I'm gonna cut it down to 2.25 inch, and then I can put it in the outer pocket like this. And I'm gonna have to take it out so my son can write something on it, just so that you don't see it from the back. It's kind of plain on the back, right? If you wanted, you could seal this part and then do shaker stuff on the back, but I thought it's okay. I kind of like this nice clean edge. So even though the hole is really tiny, you can kind of roll up the ribbon so you can still pull it through. Okay, and then we're just going to tie it and make a nice little bow. I would cut my ribbon longer and then trim it up cute at the ends. I'm just reusing this ribbon from the other one. I really like this ribbon from Walmart. It doesn't have wire, but with the border part, the bows usually end up like pretty cute. So yeah, you just fold it in half and then cut the tail. I was like, what is that part called? Yeah, I think that looked pretty cute. And just, you know, something a little more special than a gift, you know, plain gift card. So just a side note, as I'm finishing this up, I do recommend doing it on both sides, doing the fuse on both sides. I feel like it just made a really strong bond. And, you know, it looks nice too. I don't know. And let's see what else. I had something else. Oh, you could also use this for graduation gifts. I was just thinking that you could do like school colors with the confetti, and then instead of tying a bow here, you can string it on like a longer string or ribbon and do it like as a lei. Because I know a lot of people do like gift cards on leis, or you can make the dollar bill size and then do the same thing on the lei. Or you could also make a bunch of the dollar bill ones, like bigger ones, and then maybe tie them with ribbon or something, string them together, and then have that kind of money lei. So just some ideas. I know graduation season is coming up, and you know, we're always looking for something fun to give that's different and that the kids will like and appreciate. But yeah, okay, so that's it. Oh, so for the bow, I'm doing a nicer one this time. So I kind of pull it. I know I'm not like the best bow tire, but I try. So I try to hold it down, make it kind of square so that the tails are, you know, down, and then you fold it and then you cut as the last steps, you know, so that they're even. But yeah, I also plan to do this for Christmas now because this is pretty easy and I think it looks cute. And if you know, put it on the tree as an ornament, maybe it looks a little bit more festive. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. So to do the custom confetti, we're going to go into Cricut Design Space. And these are just some examples of the ones that I did. You can really do anything you want, or even use hole punches if you have them. So I'm going to open a text box, and I'm using a font called October Delight from Creative Fabrica. And you just want to find a font that connects, like a script font that doesn't have too many like small little lines. We want it kind of a bold script. So I've typed in Mrs. Kim, and I'm just adjusting the line spacing so that the top and the bottom touch. Just a little bit so that the words will be a little more stable and it can cut out together in one piece. And you can totally play around with this. This one was pretty easy. So I'm just gonna select the whole thing and weld it. And just keep in mind the eye, the dot for the eye, it's not gonna be there, but I think, when it's so small, they'll know it's an eye. So you just wanna adjust the size. It is supposed to be confetti-like, so you want it to be small, but you don't want it to be like really hard to cut out, or where the Cricut's gonna have a really hard time doing all the fine details. So this is 1 inch. I think the last time when I made it 0.8 inches for the width, and that worked out well. So I'll show you what to do if the name is a little bit longer. So I'm typing Mrs. Sayagusa, and same thing, just gonna adjust the line spacing so that the top and the bottom lines touch. But if you notice, the S is not connected, and so we're gonna have to play around with it so that it connects. Okay, so when it's barely touching, we're just going to ungroup. And now you can move the letters anywhere you want. So we're just going to put the S so it touches the A, and maybe put the M so that both of the bottom lines of the M are touching, and just adjusting it. And then once it looks good, you can select the whole thing and weld it. I always like to do the adjusting part with the font big. It's just easier for me to see versus making it or starting from a small font and then trying to play around with it. So for this name, because it's longer, I went with a 1.5 inches in width. The thank you could go a little smaller, I think, maybe 1.25. I ended up not using the thank you, but just, for reference. And then now you can just duplicate it as many times as you need, and maybe a few extra just in case. So it's good to have more than less. And the logo for the school is very fine, so I had to keep that one a little bit bigger. So just go ahead and check your mats. This is a really good scrap busting project, so just adjust your designs accordingly. So for my base material, I like to choose foil poster board if I'm using thicker poster board or cardstock. And then this is the font that I use from Creative Fabrica. It used to be free, but now it's $5, which is still pretty reasonable. And so now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out and meet you back at the table.